the hushed corridors of high schools and dark corners of the internet, whispers of Carmen Winstead's name bring a chilling shudder to those who know her story. Carmen was just 16 when her life ended in one of the cruelest ways imaginable, a life stolen by her so-called friends and left to fester in the shadows of a sewer drain. One cold gray afternoon, Carmen's classmates cornered her by an old sewer. Teasing turned into shoving, and a sudden push sent her tumbling into the darkness below. The fall was brutal. She landed neck first on the cold, damp concrete, her final scream swallowed by the depths of the sewer. Her friends, faces pale with shock, ran, never confessing what they'd done. They claimed it was an accident, just a prank gone wrong. But the truth was much darker. Now, they say Carmen's spirit wanders, restless and vengeful, seeking justice for the betrayal she suffered. Those who receive her story in a chain message are warned. If you don't spread this tale, Carmen will come for you, and many who ignore the warning pay a terrible price. There are chilling accounts of those who laughed off the message, only to be found later with twisted necks, faces frozen in terror. Just like Carmen's last moments, some claim to have seen her, a shadowy figure lurking in the dim glow of streetlights, her eyes wide, cold and empty, staring as if from beyond the grave. Others swear they've heard her whisper, a faint ghostly voice saying, "I'm still here." So, when you read Carmen Winstead's story, remember, she is waiting, somewhere beyond the veil, for those who ignore her tale. And if you choose not to share it, don't be surprised if you hear a soft whisper in the dead of night, or feel icy fingers brush your neck, reminding you that Carmen has never really left.
In the dark corners of Fairfax County, Virginia, lurks a tale so twisted it leaves a chill, even in the bravest hearts. The legend of the Bunny Man is whispered in hushed tones, a haunting memory of the night he first appeared, a figure in a ragged, filthy rabbit costume, eyes blazing with madness, clutching an axe. It began in 1970, on a cold October night. A young couple parked their car near an old bridge, hoping for a quiet moment alone. Suddenly, they heard a scraping sound, metal dragging against stone, then a bone-chilling voice snarling, "Get off my land." In the dim light, they saw him, the Bunny Man. He lifted his axe high, and with a swift, furious swing, shattered their windshield. Shrieking, the couple sped off, but the image of the crazed man, fur-matted with dirt and blood, etched itself into their minds. Since that night, stories have spread, each one more horrifying than the last. Some say he's the ghost of an escaped asylum patient who hides in the woods, haunting the county in search of revenge. Others claim he's a restless spirit, doomed to stalk the shadows forever, fueled by a rage he can't control. They say that if you dare to visit the bridge at midnight, you might hear the sound of his axe scraping the ground, his ghostly form lingering in the shadows, waiting for another soul to claim. People swear they've seen him, his silhouette under the moonlight, his eyes gleaming from the depths of the forest. is certain. Once you see the bunny man, you'll never forget the sight of his axe, the echo of his growl, or the terror that will haunt your dreams. The tale of Anastasia Romanov's survival is whispered in the dark corners of history. A chilling story of a young duchess who slipped through the fingers of death the night her family was brutally executed in 1918. They say that as gunfire echoed through the cold, damp basement amidst the smoke and screams, Anastasia disappeared. She vanished into the shadows, leaving behind only confusion and a mystery that would haunt the world for decades. Sightings of a girl, fragile, with piercing blue eyes that seemed to carry the weight of unimaginable horrors, began to surface. She moved like a ghost across Europe, seen in train stations and dark alleys, always fleeing, always hiding. Her whispers told of betrayal, of tunnels under the palace, of guards who pitied her just long enough for her to escape. The people who found her swore that she spoke of things only a Romanov could know. Her voice haunted, her eyes empty as if staring into a past too dark to remember. But there was something wrong about those who claimed to be Anastasia. A darkness clung to them, a hint of madness behind their eyes, as though they had brought back something sinister from that night of blood and bullets. People wanted to believe, even as unease grew. Was it really her, or something pretending, something that had slipped through the cracks that night? The truth came out in 2007. Anastasia had never escaped. Her remains had lain hidden, separate from her family, but very much among the dead. Yet the legend persists, a ghostly reminder of a girl who for many will always be running, forever lost, forever trying to escape the horrors that claimed her family.
In the dense, mist-laden forests of North America, an unsettling figure roams, Bigfoot, or as the natives call him, Sasquatch. Towering at nearly 8 feet tall, this monstrous ape-like creature lurks in the shadows, a spectre of nature's wildest secrets. For centuries, stories of his terrifying encounters have spread, each tale more harrowing than the last. Hunters, campers, and wanderers alike speak of colossal footprints embedded in the earth, prints so massive no human could leave them. The chilling evidence, cast in mud and shadow, hints at something far beyond human. But Bigfoot isn't just a rumour in these parts. On cold, silent nights, the forest transforms. The usual
wildlife fades, replaced by an eerie silence, as though the trees themselves are holding their breath. Then, through the darkness, comes a low, guttural howl, a sound so deep and raw it seems to pierce through the soul, the unmistakable call of Sasquatch. His presence is felt before he's ever seen, a heavy, brooding shadow in the night, stalking, watching, waiting. Those unlucky enough to catch a glimpse report a creature cloaked in thick, matted fur, eyes glinting with a primal intelligence, yet filled with an unsettling, almost human understanding. His hulking frame moves with unnerving agility, slipping between trees like a ghost, his piercing gaze locking with his prey before vanishing into the underbrush. As he disappears, a foul, musky odour lingers, a reminder that Bigfoot was there, a silent warning for anyone daring enough to tread deeper. Some say he's a guardian of the wilderness, others a harbinger of doom, but all agree Bigfoot is no myth, and in the dark heart of the forest he waits, forever watching, his silent footfalls a deadly promise to those who venture too close to the wild. In the fog-laden town of Exeter, Rhode Island, the terrifying tale of Mercy Brown still lingers, casting shadows over history. In the winter of 1892, young Mercy died from a brutal case of tuberculosis, then known as consumption. But even death couldn't silence her story. Not long after her burial, rumours spread like wildfire. Her family too was falling mysteriously ill, wasting away as though something sinister was siphoning the life from them. Driven by fear, townsfolk began to suspect that Mercy was no ordinary victim of disease. They whispered that she had returned from the grave as a vampire, a malevolent spirit consuming her family's life essence from beyond. Desperate to end the curse, they resolved to perform a grim ritual, exhuming her body from the frozen ground. When they opened her coffin, they found her shockingly well preserved, her skin pale but intact, her nails and hair seemingly grown, and her heart still containing fresh blood. Panic gripped them. They believed she was feeding, her undead spirit reaching from the grave. In a macabre attempt to end her hold over the living, they cut out her heart and liver, burning them to ash in a desperate ritual meant to destroy her lingering influence. The ashes were mixed into a tonic and given to her ailing brother, in hopes that drinking it would break the deadly connection Mercy held over him. But some say that Mercy's spirit did not rest after this ritual. Locals claim to see her figure drifting through the cemetery at dusk, her pale face visible in the moonlight, watching silently as if waiting for her next victim. Others report a suffocating chill in the air near her grave, an unnatural cold that wraps around them like icy hands. Even today, Mercy Brown's grave remains, a chilling reminder of superstition and desperation. Visitors say that if you stand near her grave at night, you can feel her presence, an overwhelming sense of sorrow and vengeance, a ghostly whisper from a past that refuses to be buried. Her legend endures as a reminder of how fear and folklore can reach out from the grave, grasping at the living with cold, relentless hands.
candle's light, the chilling legend of Bloody Mary comes to life. This haunting spirit, shrouded in mystery and dread, is said to appear in mirrors, summoned by those brave or foolish enough to speak her name. The ritual is simple, yet terrifying. Stand before a mirror, stare into your own reflection, and chant, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Legend warns that calling her name unlocks a portal, a thin veil between our world and hers. As you chant, the room grows colder, the air thickening as if her presence fills every corner, lurking just beyond your vision. Those who have dared to call her say that shadows begin to twist, the flickering candlelight dimming as though something unnatural is drawing it in. And then, through the glass, she appears. A gaunt, hollow-eyed figure with a blood-streaked face, staring back with an expression twisted by agony, rage, or a cruel, mocking smile. Witnesses describe her as a vision of torment. Her long, tangled hair framing a face pale as bone, her eyes glinting with dark intentions. Sometimes she reaches out, her fingers clawing from behind the glass, leaving bloody smears across the mirror's surface. Others claim she whispers secrets of the future, a voice soft and chilling, or even laughs, a sound so cold it chills the blood. But beware, Bloody Mary is said to hold the power to curse, to haunt, or to pull the unwary into her ghostly world. Many believe that once you call upon her, she lingers, an invisible presence following you, waiting in the shadows. And so when night falls and the